What's up, everybody? I'm at 56 here. I said, damn it's hot in this room. I'm gonna do that whole class trial like this. As you can tell from the title, this is the first of many class trials. Gonna end in a big wet door. Why is it wet anyway? As you saw, this is where we ended off in the last video, standing here. Hang on, let me put it where we first was. There we go. Now, if you like the class trial, hit that like button. We're gonna go in. You're late, Ricardo. We've been waiting for you. I bet you offended you've been discovered as a murderer.
Listen to me!
Don't jump to conclusions set up for the class trial. We've revealed the details of the Koto's trial. So we really convinced I did it, but I didn't do it. Me and Sayaka both know that all too well. Sayaka, but then who is the killer? Well, who murdered Sayaka? Is it really one of us?
Is everyone here? Okay then.
I need to learn that Monica Gomez is voice acted, at least in this game. At least in this one of the 3 games, it's voice acted in this one, maybe this one, and a few segments in this one, I believe. But you actually have to voice act yourself in this one.
Please board the elevator in front of you, which will transport you to the courtroom, where all your fate will be decided. I'll meet you all down there. I'll be
waiting. Kyoko. So what are your thoughts on this one? Let's get started. Yes, let's. So no Joe's gonna go through this animal. That's just big deal.
Yes, indeed.
Good idea.
Hey.
Are you scared? No, scared isn't quite right. What's up to cover them? The mysterious mystery surrounding this case. Why me? If you don't, you'll never come to grips with the truth. I need to uncover the true side because that I didn't need someone else to tell me that to do that. So that's why I know we have to do. That's why I was racing this because traveling with like anticipation towards the elevator. First step, I could feel my house start to race faster. Everyone else was already on the elevator and I finally stepped on the door, closing the elevator, started to move. How did they come up with this? Steel box stands with a heavy clunking sound towards the school's basement. I wonder if this is death row made feel when it is time for it to come. Rather than that, it's not like a defended way into a seamless judgment. It's not all obvious to our shared anxiety. The elevator lowered us further and further. It's like this. Whoa! You find it? What do you think? Does it feel like a real concert? Is it like a Honey at the movie set, right? Not even close. It's totally
well now.
best. Okay. Everyone find your assigned seats and sit down. You stand. Happy. Hurry up now. Hurry up. What did we do when he said? We did what he said and found our seats. See what I mean? I'm standing. The seats were empty to try and except for those who see everyone else. Which means also everyone's trying to their attentions very easy for everyone else. So the grow heavy as we sat. And set up first gates open. A deadly deception. A deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly fate. A deadly class trial. Do you want to say that? Hell yes! Let's do it in slot number 4, 3. set skills. Do I not have any yet? No. I put the handbook. So I'm on given file, evidence of a struggle. Epic assault, chef. Switching rooms, toolkit, Makoto's room cleanness. Sayaka's vest was fractured and broke. With dying wish. Bathroom door frame, bathroom knob, door nameplates, kitchen knife set, Ayaka's account, trash journey incinerator. But also guys, if you're wondering why I was terribly sad about Sayaka's death, is because I didn't like that much, to be honest, not gonna lie. But that was kind of clingy and annoying. Finish. Crazy. Trial. All eyes.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial.
Rules, guys, I know. I'm so sorry. Never mind what I was going to say.
So, your votes will determine the results.
Oh, I was it. I'm sorry for not getting to this part sooner. I know it's right after, but you should have at least done 2 class trials if you were going it this way in the past. Instead of starting this 25th on Christmas Day, to get into it a week ago. Did a load of videos on 25th and then got back to it a week ago with that.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Of course.
Okay then, everyone close your eyes. And whoever did it, raise your hand.
Don't be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand?
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick?
Finally, Kyoko with some sense.
What's going on with those pictures?
I'd feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier.
Friendship penetrates?
Okay, but what about that other empty seat? There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people. Okay, that about does it for the preamble. Get ready to get started. First up is the case summary. Now, let the class trial begin.
Finally, still have like 2 hours sitting here straight. It's about to begin. The debate to who we think the killer is. Anything I found, anything else, I have to be ready to speak about it because it's for me, everyone's lives on the line. Your first non-stop debate is about to begin. Check to hear more. Yes, because I don't actually remember that it's on V3 or V2 actually. I watched both the later game. Evidence of a struggle.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono.
Oh crap!
You know that part already.
And
the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
Shoot it! How do I shoot it? There's someone on about that last thing. It certainly contradicts what I already know.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono.
Yeah, you know that part already.
Come on, hurry up,
murder
please.
took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
No, it's wrong.
Counter! Wait.
Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked. With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
Well, yeah.
A struggle? Between who and who?
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
Oh my
So
god, the
you're
girl.
Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom?
She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then, she ran to the bathroom to try and hide. The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Sorry.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real trap.
Well, it is. Doesn't tell me what was used. This is a kitchen knife. Make your argument. Kitchen knife set. There was one missing.
So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach.
It was a kitchen
Without
knife.
a doubt, that is the murder weapon.
So the killer used some random knife they had.
No, it wasn't a random knife. It's a counter-mechanism. Break.
No. I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
There we go.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach. And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us?
You should know.
I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
That's right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime. What more proof do you need?
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after we presented our arguments.
Finally.
Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
Kyoko knows. So there's got to be a poker switch for them because I damn well know I'm not the killer. There's a bit more to learn about non-stop with Page, so try to hear more. Oh, that's a knife. I thought bloody Koto was saying that. I was like, what? Make your argument. Akiko's a cow.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon.
But
where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? We did it in secret, when nobody was in the dining room.
I was passing on, but I almost missed it. Counter at this. I'm not gonna say that break every time.
Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
Next, you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
Just get irons and
Well,
cattle.
what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier?
I went to get some tea for the kitchen last night. That's where all the knives were here. When I finished my tea and went back into my room to wash my glass, one of the knives was gone. Saved the knife to disappear while you were drinking your tea in the hall? Yeah.
Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct? And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No,
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't there.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall. But I wasn't there the entire time. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this? What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together, and lying to protect each other?
Idiot swimmer girl? Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
But what if they did work together, and they just didn't know about the rule?
Good grief! Enough already! No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case! Oops! Did I say that out loud?
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife, so I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then, who did take the knife?
Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall.
No way! I swear it wasn't me!
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that?
I can.
That's right! Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
Me.
Right. But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because, well...
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over. Which means we have airtight alibis.
You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations?
We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms. But it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room, so I don't think that's a problem.
It is a problem! A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's unwholesome!
But I'm a girl.
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry!
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
Oh, yeah, that's true! One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Well, because... they're not here anymore. Sayaka. She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later, she wound up dead.
Sayaka? Just took the knife on the kitchen walls.
Then, Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
That's the only possibility. And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual. When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen. As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely...
And the person who took the knife was the victim herself.
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it?
That would explain the, here, I will explain why her wrist is all fractured. For someone physically fracturing her wrist and taking a knife from her to kill her.
In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
What?
See? He did do it after all!
No, you're wrong!
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction? You possess a most terrifying talent.
Yeah, man, excited to slap you, dumbass fatty boy. If I just have to make an blame you for murder, don't they understand? You can fit me, everyone's gonna die.
It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say?
I like
Because
Hyuko.
you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
No one would kill someone.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Your first hand give it is battle again. Jack, what? Tell him, cool, I'm doing. Wait, it's the same one as it used to be. Hair.
Now I understand.
So it is the same as the later game said. There should have been hair. She is right.
That's right. There wasn't a single hair on the floor.
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes. And if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there. That makes sense, does it not?
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Yes, very true, very true.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Wait,
Then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Then Makoto isn't the culprit?
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
I would like to hear these reasons.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene? Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom.
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom.
Because the bathroom and the
There was
room is
clear
blocked.
evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
Where is it?
I got it!
Did I get it
Evidence
back?
that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
You still don't see? Okay then, let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
The mirrors at first contact. It's been more to learn about non-stop debates. Yeah, from now on the number of weak spots will stop going up. How weak they are, they essentially only one lie or indicate interact dispute. Twice we've done that now. What I'm trying to say is not all weak spots you see are necessarily false. If you truth put it on the wrong one, not only you fail to refute what they said, also know your trust with everyone. Your influence here will take damage. Now this important because you reach a zero fail. You have to rely on your own logic. Crap, to stab and move to eyes. Oh, good luck and have fun. No! Thank you, Arthur.
The incident took place in Makoto's room.
Yes.
Sayaka was first attacked in the main room.
That's true.
She then fled into the bathroom.
That's true.
Then the killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door. Because Sayaka had locked it.
And finally, the culprit had Sayaka cornered.
To finish the job, they stabbed her with the kitchen.
I missed it!
It was you, wasn't it, Makoto? Admit it! We already know the answer.
Shut up and just hurry up. So something back for Dominic. The reason for that is...
The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka was first attacked in the main room. She then fled into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door. Because Sayaka had locked it.
No, boys, well, boys, toilet, bathroom's locked. Do you remember?
The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with walking bathrooms, right?
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
It's true.
And why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be. You know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door, that's not lucky at all.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place? Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
Reason I couldn't. Crime took place inside because we. I clicked on one.
Shoot! I got it! The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
I clicked the one button.
Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable.
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms, which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then
there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through!
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
Ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. But the killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door open.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
That is a definite possibility.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
Okay, then who did do it?
I'm sorry, but I give up! Quit without saving!
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules!
Majority rules? You really think that's a good idea?
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I do have one question.
Oh, you
don't gotta sound so disappointed.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Then, maybe someone picked the lock?
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They
That
could
is?
have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just let him in.
No, that can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place. Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
Psycho, when the victim has discovered Makoto's key was also found in Makoto's room.
I got it!
Oh,
Because
that's all
Sayaka
wrong.
was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
The same goes for you, Psycho. No matter who it is, don't open the door for anyone. Even though I'm sure she absolutely won't open, otherwise what's the point of room switching?
Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
What if her being scared was a lie?
Huh?
Oh.
What the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you
Something I want to touch you. Just goes 2 minutes and 5 minutes come to my room. Okay, so check the nameplates, just be sure they're good old room.
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil, and these are the words that appeared.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows. When you write, it can leave an imprint. sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes. Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room. Huh? Which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
So, Makoto, did you write this?
No, I didn't.
Well, of course you didn't. Because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
But why?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone. She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on me.
But can we be sure anyone even got this note? And honestly, even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened.
Huh? What makes you say that?
Would you like to hear what I have to say? Very well then. Pay attention.
I like how her voice sounds. It sounds nice. Sounds cool, actually. Thank you, argument. Again? Oh, man.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in. So in other words, even if someone did read the note and did what it said, they would not have any connection to what happened.
It certainly would seem that way.
I don't know why we would not say this is a spiral episode. It must be because...
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct?
Correct.
But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
I see.
Maybe I should shoot that.
So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room that Makoto...
No, that's wrong.
That's all wrong.
The nameplates on Mai and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
They got switched?
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves. As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
Right.
Okay, then who did it?
Shoot! I got it! Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates.
You can also infer as much from her note.
I could have got it perfect. Just us two for 5 minutes for the CD area. Check the nameplates, make sure I don't get the wrong
She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you've switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room. That's where the answer lies.
What happened then was probably whoever she invited over came in and attacked her! We figured it out! We know who did it! Whoever she invited over is the culprit!
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot!
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes? Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
Where does Chris Ed from then? Like, I want to know, like, I can't tell what that accent is.
Yes, I think you're right.
I want to say, like, she's a German.
We just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
Sayaka's wrist. No. It looks been used.
Shoot!
Gonna die. Why didn't I just flick Sayaka's wrist?
I got it!
Why did I not just do that?
All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen. There's something glittery there.
Is that gold?
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you. And there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword! Right there on her wrist!
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
Shut up, Thomas! There's a bit more to learn about non-stop debates. No, I'm pretty sure I've heard the Lord.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword. A sword-based sneak attack.
And that's what broke Miss Maizono's wrist.
So, she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away.
But then the culprit took that from her too.
And he killed her with it.
And that's exactly what happened.
So it's first you and then the killer killed afterwards. Is that when you do heads?
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword. And that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
No, it's wrong.
It's gotta be, hasn't it? Did I have to take it out on the second?
Actually, no. I don't think the fight started with the sword.
Why not?
Because the sword sheath had... There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with something sharp.
Something sharp? You mean like the kitchen knife? That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
Stop jumping ahead. Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
That's all what biker dudes.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath. If you were going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
If they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse.
If they die on it, you can see.
In that situation...
Say this is the sword, yeah? They'd have got the sheath, done that, and as they'd have done that, they'd have done that. Or that on the other side. Yes, I do.
There wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from...
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked first.
I think I get it! So here's how it all played out. The culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere, then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening. So she grabbed the sword to defend herself. But then the culprit took that from her, then...
I got it! You're talking about her palms, right? The palms of her hands were perfectly clean. So I don't think she ever picked up the sword.
How can you know that just by looking at her palms?
Like I said before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it. In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle. It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands. There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
Maybe she washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
Sorry, but I don't think so.
Let me just...
No, that's not it at all.
What? The water dropped her in the night.
According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time of death was around 1:30 a.m. In other words, at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime.
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower here yet.
You stink!
My.
You're no different. You smell like a big fat ugly donkey.
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
An insult, obviously.
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means the killer is the only one who used the sword. But hold on. If that's right, then the one who damaged the sheath with the kitchen knife was...
I'll just see if I can... Sayaka.
Sayaka? She had the kitchen knife?
But we already said that the attack started with...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
And the one who attacked first was...
Sayaka.
Sayaka?
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim in this.
No, far from it. It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own.
What?
She took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in. And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation...
Indeed. These are all the actions of an assailant.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct? Maybe the reason she wanted to switch rooms was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility, is it not?
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
That would also explain why she would switch the nameplates. She wanted to get whoever she had targeted to come to Makoto's room where she was staying, and by committing the murder there, instead of her room, that would implicate Makoto. But for that to work, the target had to be lured out while still keeping the room swap a secret. If the target knew she had switched rooms, they would have become suspicious right away.
So all that's why she switched the names?
But doesn't that plan seem a little risky? For one thing, even if her plan worked, Mr. Naegi would just tell everyone they'd switched rooms.
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable of that kind of cutthroat behavior. I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is why out of all of us, she asked him to switch rooms.
Yeah.
Plus, she was the ultimate pop sensation. A totally forgettable kid. Or a national superstar. Who are you more likely to believe?
Wait, then you're saying she had this all planned out?
Holy shit!
But in the end, her plan backfired. She launched her attack with the knife, then found herself under attack in turn. That must be when her wrist got broken, and she was forced to drop the knife.
She could have got the arm.
The tables were suddenly turned on her, and she died at the hands of the one she planned to murder.
Just hold on! That can't be true, because...
Hey! You guys have totally derailed the argument. You're being super boring right now. Come on, hurry up and decide who did it. Wouldn't it be awful if I had to punish you all just because you ran out of time?
Oh yeah, we gotta decide who we think did it.
Makoto, right now you just need to concentrate on figuring out the answer to this mystery. If we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka, it's over for all of us.
I get to decide. We're going to do this count. Trash shooter. dying message. Alright.
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
Very well. Then let's review all the clues we found up to this point one more time.
Do we really
Simple.
have time for all that?
Die! Die! We don't do something, we're all gonna die!
Wait, no, hold on, that's fine. There was still a clue left.
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
Boom!
No, it's wrong.
Too simple. Well, a dark pop fang.
There still might be one clue left. Sayaka's
Sayaka's
dying
dying
message.
message.
Dining. Wait, what did you say?
The dying message. She wrote something on the wall behind her. Remember? 11037.
Look
Written in
upside
her
down,
own
guys.
blood.
Well, before we get too far into that, I need to ask, can we really be sure that Sayaka is the one who wrote it?
Left
I got
index
it.
finger.
Her left index finger had blood on it.
She'd go behind
That
and
could
wrote
only
it.
be because she used that finger to write the message.
I see. She broke her right wrist during the fight, so she'd have to use her left hand to write.
Sure. I think we can all agree Sayaka wrote it. What the heck do those numbers mean?
Hey, Chihiro. You're a computer nerd or whatever, right? You should know all about numbers and shit.
No, that's not... Yes, I'm a programmer, but I don't see any kind of meaning in these numbers.
Of course. It's because they're not
They're
numbers.
Oh, yeah.
What?
No, it's just look at the numbers, assuming they're not numbers. Don't these first two, 1-1, look less like two numbers and more like one letter?
Oh!
Ah, you're right.
You see this little fake blood
The
line?
connecting line is barely there.
Hang on, let me just
So
pause it. You look at it when I pause it, and between the 1 and the 1, there is a bloodline like this, very faint.
Assumed it was
Look.
1-1. Looking at it now, you could also read it as an N.
Whoa. You might have finally just said something worth a shit.
Our little brain cells are really getting excited now.
But even if that really is an N037, doesn't make any more sense than
Turn it
before.
upside down.
Rotate the image 180 degrees.
Maybe I see.
God. Now I see. She wrote down the killer's name.
You just shot past the clue part and right onto who did it. So, whose name did she write?
I'll show you exactly who did it, guys. Where are you? Leon.
Here's my
Oh,
answer.
the put her down for this whole trial.
The key to solving this mystery was simply to rotate the writing 180 degrees. If you turn the message around, it becomes the letters L-E-O-N. L-E-O-N. Or more accurately, Leon.
What the hell are you talking about? It's just a coincidence. It's just a bunch of random squiggles that happen to look like my name.
No, it's not random at all. She wrote that message on the wall behind her as she was leaning up against it. In that position, she couldn't move to write normally, and had to write upside down, as it were. And as a result, when you look at it standing in front of her, it ends up getting flipped. Try it for yourself if you want. Write something sitting like her, and the letters will be inverted.
That sounds like one hell of a stretch to me. I'm the killer? You can't just go and say shit like that.
If you're not the killer, then why did you try to destroy the evidence?
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto?
The ball, I'm trying to explain it earlier on in the last video. See you later.
Shoot!
Oh, I can't have any more mistakes, so I said I'm not going to blame it.
I got the burnt shirt piece I found laying on the ground by the incinerator, right?
As the killer stabbed Sayaka, they must have gotten some of her blood on them. And to dispose of the shirt covered in the victim's blood, they threw it into the incinerator.
But one piece burned off and got left behind.
And the killer didn't notice. If they had, they most certainly would have panicked. Isn't that right, Leon?
But is one scrap of fabric enough to conclude that Leon is
Yeah,
guilty?
because that's 20 feet away, you'd have to post about it.
I mean, Leon's not the only one wearing a white button-up.
That's right. There are plenty of other people here with shirts like mine. With just that one little charred piece, there's no way you can say for sure who it belongs to.
You're right. That alone isn't enough.
Are you finally starting to understand? The answers to all the riddles are right here.
Yeah.
How? No, when? When?
I got it! If you look closely at how the shirt was disposed of, we should be able to figure out who the killer is.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I think I know what you're gonna say. You can't reach the incinerator without opening the gate in front of the trash room, right? And obviously, you wouldn't be able to hit the switch to turn it on either. You'd need the key to get in. And the one with the key was the person on cleaning duty. So the killer had to be whoever was in charge of taking care of the trash, right?
Interesting.
Like boots of New York. Easy. You can throw something at it.
The key to the trash room. Whoever was on cleaning duty must have had it, right? Shoot!
Yeah.
The key to the trash room. Whoever was on cleaning duty must have had it, right?
So the only one who could get to the incinerator was the person in charge of the trash?
And you'd have to get close to the incinerator in order to destroy it.
They would have.
No,
like I said, I kept saying you could have threw that ball straight at it. Simple. You'd be able to. You're the young basketball player. You're the basketball player.
I think I know how someone could dispose of the evidence without using the trash room.
But if you can't get past the gate, you couldn't possibly turn on the incinerator, could you?
Yes, you could. If you used this.
What is it, some kind of glass ball? It's busted to hell.
Actually, it was supposed to be a crystal ball, but...
But how would you use it?
Can I have glass balls?
I got it! The killer simply took aim at the incinerator switch and threw the ball through a gap in the gate. All they had to do was hit that switch, and the incinerator would come to life.
Someone threw that through a gap in the gate?
Remember what you said before, Hifumi?
Of course it was off. That's just the world of fair.
Hifumi had the key. So the only way the incinerator could have been turned on without his knowledge was because the killer was able to hit the switch without opening the gate. Once they got the incinerator going...
Which should have been an ace follow-up. Or what?
All they had to do was ball up the shirt and toss it in.
Hey, come on! What the hell is this?
All you have to do is look at the...
You see, the rest of them don't have the strength other than the girl and Leon. So see, it was the girl, she was with Io, so there's no chance. She has no solid alibi. But, you remember, Leon was the ace basketball player. Was the old basketball player?
Know that the killer never actually went inside the trash room. The shards of broken glass, the incinerator left running, the piece of shirt that escaped the fire. If the killer had been on cleaning duty, the evidence would have been taken care of much more thoroughly.
Wait, no, just hold on.
But the distance from the gate to the incinerator has to be at least 30 feet, right? The pinpoint accuracy you'd need to throw a glass ball that far and hit something that small. Could someone really do that?
That's right. There's no way. It'd be impossible.
Difficult, absolutely. Impossible? I don't think so.
Because the killer is the ultimate baseball star. I've been saying this.
Because the killer is the ultimate baseball star. Isn't that right, Leon?
Do you you have any idea how stupid you sound right now?
A target 30 feet away would surely be little challenge for the ultimate baseball star.
You can't be serious. I'm not the killer! These goddamn shipper brains have got it all wrong, I'm telling you!
You still won't admit it?
Okay,
then, Makoto, go ahead and review the incident one more time to make his crime perfectly clear. And with that, we can end this.
Listen to me! What the hell do you mean, end this?
Say what you want, Leon. But all the questions have been answered. And the truth has been revealed. Now here's what happened.
Closing argument is one. Yes, I can't remember the closing argument. Every case has one last element to begin like this. Try, listen, end. This is closing argument. This is how you draw a complete summary of a case. You'll have to produce the following in the offense from involvement of a comic book. Most of those are comic book with a number of pieces missing. It's up to you to complete the comic using the truth panels. You also aim at the missing selection and press the X button. Holy cow, you'll get hit by needing to break through. Well then, good luck and have fun. I will. Close the argument. That would have been. Right. How do I move on? Well, stabbing him. When they did that, hang on a second. Nope. That will go there. That will go there. Then that. And then that. I'm looking at this entirely wrong. Stab. Go to the first page. That's how you grab. Sword left. And then like that. Then that. Then that. Cause her to drop the blade. And then a broken wrist. So that. That. Yep. That. That. And he did that, and then when he's done that, he threw that in.
Here's exactly what happened.
I would have gone out quick, so I only have 5
I think
minutes.
I'd better take one more look back at the case from the beginning.
There has to be a way it can be started, this, right?
You! I think I'd better
Yes.
Last night, from what we can tell, she attacked them with the knife she...
Crap!
The killer is... you!
Oh no! So close!
But then something happened that you... They grabbed the fake sword I put in my room and fought back. During the struggle...
What do you mean it wasn't correct?
Here's exactly what happened.
It's gotta be a last bed.
During the
Yes.
And that's when she lost her grip. Finding herself cornered. The killer went after her. What they didn't know was that Sayaka knew about that because I told her. But of course the killer had no way of knowing. So instead, the killer... and stabbed Sayaka. But with what strength she had remaining, Sayaka left to keep the killer from noticing. And with that, with Sayaka dead... First, they took off their shirt, which was covered in their victim's blood.
Yeah.
Then they took the lint roller in my room and cleaned up the entire area. They wanted to make sure they got rid of any trace they'd ever been there.
That's not right.
Afterwards, the killer headed... They tried to burn the... But the trash room was blocked off by an especially sturdy gate.
Oh god.
Here's exactly what happened.
Don't start from the start, Ava. Because I'm from bed.
Afterwards, the killer tried to burn the... But the trash room was blocked up. So they came up with a plan to use Hiro's crystal ball, which he'd left in the laundry room. The killer meant for any normal person, that'd be an impossible throw. But the killer had the confidence to take a shot, and that's because the killer was the ultimate baseball star. The crystal ball, thrown with absolute precision, hit the switch on the incinerator, which then quickly roared. Having destroyed the final piece of evidence, they left the area with, I imagine, a sigh of relief. But there was one part of the shirt they'd thrown into the fire, burnt away, and fell out of the incinerator. The killer didn't notice this, and so left behind a piece of indisputable evidence. Isn't that right, Leon?
Oh!
It would appear that Hiro simply forgot his crystal ball in the laundry room. You went there to try and wash the blood out of your shirt. And that's where you saw it, right? Seeing the ball? You thought of a way to take care of everything.
So, Leon, do you object to anything that's been said?
Do I object? Hell yes, I object! Of course I do! I object! I object! I object! I mean, all of this is just a bunch of stupid theories! You need evidence! Where's the evidence? Without evidence, it's all bullshit! It's bullshit and I refuse to acknowledge it!
Well then, I guess this is as good a time as any to present the evidence that proves you did it. Makoto, I believe you're in possession of that evidence?
I'm in possession of all the evidence! I have the evidence. First bullet type out. Oh god. During the class round, your opponent simply doesn't want to hear what you said. You'll engage them in a head-to-head battle. Maybe like to refer to as the bullet time battle, aka the BTB or BTW. During the BT, you have to smash your opponent's statement in time to win them. Press the button with the tempo marker as they move across the screen and reach the center. Press the X button to lock onto an opponent's statement. Show the statement you've locked. You lock on with the triangle button as the tempos mark the center. Use the weapon to deal damage with your opponent. You can't put it off. You'll be the one in pain. Do this consistently, you'll start a combo. Keep this going to initiate a tempo. On the flip side, you keep missing, you'll get a tempo down in this situation. When tempo charges, so does the timing for each button, so watch out for that. So I don't want to get too high. Finally, do not damage your opponent at weak spot statement will appear. Shoot them with a truth bullet, like any other statement. If you use that statement fast enough, and you'll become out victorious. Just like before your influence gauge reaches 0, you'll fail. Well, good luck and have fun.
When the killer broke the bathroom doorknob, they didn't use anything from your room to do it. So what did the killer use?
Screwdriver, right?
I refuse to acknowledge you. You're stupid. Stupid, 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 stupid!
Let's do it. Oh, God.
Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. It wasn't me. Stupid. You lied.
No.
Is this real? I refuse to give up yet.
Oh my God.
When the killer broke, so what did the...
I refuse to... Stupid, stupid...
Right, let's just skip past all of that. Yeah, I can't trust this. As a god, guys, it fell.
Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. It wasn't me. Stupid. You lied. Shut up. Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. You lied. Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. It wasn't me. Stupid. You lied! Shut up! Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! You lied! Shut up! Stupid! Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! It wasn't me! Stupid! You lied! Shut up! You kidding me? Not a chance! You lied! Where's your proof? Where's your proof?
This should prove it.
We've done it?
The screws on the bathroom doorknob were removed. I wonder what kind of tool the killer used to remove them.
I mean, it had to be a screwdriver, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure the toolkits we got each had one inside.
That must be what he used.
There aren't any other tools anyway.
The toolkit in my room had clearly never been used.
That's because the culprit didn't know it was your room. They thought they were in Sayaka's room.
Only the boys got toolkits, so the killer naturally assumed there wouldn't be one in there.
Okay, then whose toolkit did the killer use?
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
It had to be their very own toolkit.
Stupid, 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 stupid!
Leon, would you mind showing us your toolkit? If I'm right about this, then the screwdriver will show some evidence of being used.
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
Huh? And if you say you used it for something else, you'll have to explain exactly when, where, and why.
And let me say this right now. I lost it isn't an excuse at this point.
Stupid. Stupid.
So, you have no rebuttal?
Then it would seem we are finished here.
Hey, see. Oh, this has failed for our side.
Looks like you've reached your verdict. Then you all have a lever in front of you. Just to remind you all, make triple sure you vote for someone. You wouldn't want to be punished for something so minor. Okay, then let's get excited! Who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Who is found guilty? Monokuma vote. Oh, looks like you got it. Well, the money. A blackened in this case is one of the first time cat. There's no level of Leo Culpa.
Huh? Hey, hold on.
Hold on a sec. Leo, did you really kill Sayaka?
You son of a bitch!
Son of a... What the hell is wrong with you?
I didn't have a choice.
So that's
none of you are any different!
Well, what's happened? You'd be the one standing clear. It's a complete chance why
I was just... unlucky.
I was just unlucky.
That's all.
That's all.
Hey! Come on!
So did you just accept my death? Yes, I do. Efforts become clearer. The decision we made was right. I thought. Don't even think about that. Honestly, I'd be better off if we'd been wrong. Because this is what we came up with the truth. But the truth is, Sayaka was trying to find it. But even if that's true, I can't say she was wrong. For the mastermind, it's all because of that video. Even if I can't handle what I saw, if I was her and if it had actually had something to do with me, imagine. I'm a trap here with no way out. And they're probably waiting for me.
What?
I can't afford to get stuck in here. The one was the more important to her than anything else. Her dreams are friends. There's something like that happened around Sayaka. I did whatever it took to retrieve her. Even some things are words are pleasant. So, pretty much. That's why Sayaka, for the friends who meant so much to her, that's why she betrayed me. So when she said,
no matter what happens, please always be there for me. I need you on my side.
She was a damn good liar. She was lying to me from the very beginning. She was using me. That's why she talked to me in the first place. I guess I'll never know. Because there's nothing I can ask her what she was thinking when she's dead. That's it. Boy, howdy. The entertainment industry must sure be terrifying, huh? I mean, to try and kill someone just because of those relationships. She seems so nice and lovely on the outside, but she descended to pure malice. What did you say? I understand really, I do, yeah. You're not in despair thanks to Sayaka's betrayal, right? Compassion, intimacy, love. For Stronger makes feelings, stronger makes better when they clap. Stop screwing with us. This is all your fault. Psych has been forced to do something like this. After all of it, it's all your fault. Sunny enough, Wednesday I lunged him on the Cooper.
That's enough.
That's enough. Same as it was, Makoto latched onto my arm without hesitation. Makoto was like, are you strong enough? I was sure it would leave
Calm down.
If you really want to make her enemy pay for what they've done, you need to let it go for that. Damn it. That was a close one. I thought you were gonna give me a good just barely avoid punishment.
Yes, indeed.
And then since you're saying as if something revealed for the killers in the class, so the Black on Leon. Kawato will receive his punishment.
Punishment?
Punishment. I've been waiting for this for so long.
Execution? Wait a second!
I didn't have a choice. I had to kill.
Yeah, that's it?
Yeah, that's right. I was protecting myself from the heat at the moment. It was self-defense. How exactly was it self-defense when you forced her into the bathroom? Did you or did you not use your very own toolkit? And she set herself in the bathroom, you went on it, headed to your own room, and all came back, broke into the bathroom and killed her.
Do you understand?
You had a number of chances to stop what you were doing, but you chose not to. Is it because you had an intent to commit murder?
So,
No, that's not. Stop it. I've had enough of this. Oh, are you sure? You were closer to her than anyone, were you not? You killed her. You could press your side, do you understand? You can't say Leon is solely to blame. Of course, I don't plan on blaming Sayaka either. Because the one to blame is him. Swap? Without you, this would never happen to Sayaka or Leon. We would have been fighting each other. We would have to fight against one person in a situation like that. Oh, did you awaken to your sense of justice? Well, just what happens, there's nothing more ethical than a waving sense of justice. After all, it's what people sort of mentally prepare war all over the world. The kind of justice that's waiting within you. Just shut up. Okay, well, more politely. Let's hurry up. Everyone's waiting for the punishment. I'm begging you, please don't do this. Oh.
Hey, come on now.
No more begging, no excuses. You must pay the penalty for breaking the rules. It's a sign of bad.
Please!
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
But Leon, get the water!
No!
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
I've been waiting to hear that so long. It's been so long. Game over. Leon has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. Damn, more reviews. Tap. Batting cage. That's a batting cage. That's a lot of baseballs. 3, 2, 1, go. Ouch. That must hurt, but it's bloody cool. Okay then. Gonna show me a picture to that body? I don't want to see that. Cut Twilight music. Okay. Oh no, it's not animal. I want to see the body. I want to see the result of getting loads of bloody baseballs in the face. Also, was the true face of despair at high speed. I mean, if you can't call it that, what else can I call it?
Extreme!
Woo! Extreme! Now my adrenaline is pumping right out of control. I didn't want to do that. What's going on? I can't take this anymore. Do we really need to keep doing this? I just can't take it.
Well,
If you don't like it, All you gotta do is swear to cut all ties. The outside world will accept them here forever. And that's only if every single person can go on board with that. What happened, bro?
Damn you!
Man, F you. Why the F you doing all this evil crap to us?
What the heck?
Evil makes sound like I'm some dark, secret society type of guy. Or in this case, dark also secret, psychotic, secret bear or whatever that's it. But you're playing an upcoming young citizen like me feel. Seems like you're trying to use common sense to make sense of things that doesn't make sense. Like you're trying to put a mile on a scale. I just don't think it's possible. Well, I don't know what you're saying, and I'm saying quite fit together. Shit. You piece of crap. I don't know who you are, but I'm gonna pound your ass into the ground. You must really hate to get so angry, huh? But if you do that, you're barking way up the tree. What happened? What happened? Because more than one of you is decided you want to get out. What? No matter how much time passes, you can't cut free from your threat on the outside world. You're the brain. Of course we can't cut free of the outside world. Being trapped in this insane place. You're trapped, are you? Should have done that. And I'm sure you will learn the mystery in the school. You'll think you will torture. You'll think, boy, isn't it so wonderful how you're going to together? What are you trying to say? I feel like there's some deep meaning in this here. Just like before.
Kills! Chills! Kills!
Anyway, let's get to the blackest punishment, what everyone is waiting for.
Hey.
When you say everyone, exactly who are you referring to? Sorry, I said everything I've got to say. I need to save some of that. Just said that, he's gone. He left the phone where my nightmare turned reality. After everything, he was gone. We stood there, for everyone able to move. Actually, no, it wasn't that long, I think. Everyone just lost their sense of time, we were all way too scared. Scared of being alone. Well, Kyoko was only 5. No one even tried to speak. Faces were stone. The voice is dead. But it was in that moment.
Just a second.
Makoto, can I talk to you for a sec? She moved closer and whispered into my ear. Before we head back, there's something I want to talk to you about. It's about Sayaka, isn't it? I suppose you figured it out. I told you before the class started. You have to figure out the mystery of this case yourself. You wanted me to realise how Sayaka betrayed me by myself, didn't you? The thought never even crossed my mind. I feel like such a fool being such an easy target
it's
like
true.
that. Sayaka went to double cross you. That's the fact you can never change. But even until the very end, she wasn't sure of her decision, that's why. As she lay dead, she was thinking of you. She was thinking of me. You can't just see something like that. There's no way you can know that. Sayaka would know for sure. And we can't ask her now. If you can't ask her, you should infer it. Don't you think? The final thought was how she was protecting me. What? The fact that she used her last ounce of energy to die message proves it. She didn't kill Andrew. She would never have left that message. Maybe she wanted to get back at the person who had killed her. Certainly one possibility. I don't think that was it. She was uncertain. She wasn't sure if she could kill someone or deceive you. Which is why her plan failed. Her hesitation attracted failure.
Right.
It's almost ironic when you think about it. Why aren't you telling me all of this? Because you're the kind of person who can overcome this. Because you move past your dance from your friend Sayako, and they'll keep moving forward. If that's all like that, the others would never be able to break free of such a desperate situation. Move past their deaths. I could never do that. No. I'm going to carry that with me for the rest of my life. How can I possibly move past it like that? Leon, Sayaka, I'll carry them with me forever. I'll carry them with me wherever I go. So instead of forgetting them, you're treated to a mother. Well, I have high expectations of you. She said that she revealed the smallest amount. By the way, I have to admit I'm cute. How did you know I wanted to talk to you about Sayaka? Well, I'm psychic. Kidding. I have pretty good intuition. Ah, it's clever. 30, 12. To be continued. You've got the spare back present. And that's right, guys. To be continued. That's it for today's video. What is the loneliest number? Oh, wow. Should have kept that. I should have kept that. I could have been done a trial on my own time and got a medal from it. Damn it! Now I have to restart the story if I wanted to do that. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you dudes tomorrow for the next Danganronpa video. Bye-bye.